Superstars, is it giving 2000s Juicy Couture? Is it giving Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, Gabrielle Solis? Because she had them in different colors on Desperate Housewives. Like, Juicy Couture.
I want you to just sing my name. I know a lot of you don't know me. My name is Lebo. It's very simple. This is what you say. Lebo, Lebo, Lebo.
Welcome back to Latina Living. This week's Superstars, we're doing something a little bit different because the news cycle was really quiet, but the music was so loud that we will be combining the two. We will be talking about the culture, the charts, and the commentary. Let's get into it. Just a few quick follow-ups. Remember when I said Elon Musk was reportedly trying to bring back Vine, but he wanted to bring it back with an AI twist? Well, it seems that he won't be doing that anymore because it's being taken over by Jack Dorsey, who is bringing it back and calling it Divine. But he won't be putting any AI twist into it, which is such a great thing because I wasn't actually... It's raining.
Whenever you can go out into the rain, do not miss the opportunity!
But I wasn't feeling this whole AI twist thing. Yes. Now, a continuation into the Kanye saga. He has added a second date to his Mexico concert because the first one has already been sold out. So maybe the South African show isn't a scam after all. I am so sorry, Monyake group, that I ever doubted y'all. But if you are in my shoes, you doubt yourself too. No one wants a repeat of the Hey Naval saga. Like, no. We don't want any of that. No. This is a continuation from a Lëbo Listens topic. The devil works hard, but Swifties work even harder, who dug up Kayla Nicole's old racist and homophobic tweets. But I still stand by my statement which says that Travis Kelce is the winner of this all. I know he is rubbing his feet giggling because two girls are still fighting over him like cheerleaders at a high school.
The boy is minor.
And lastly, from the quick follow-ups, Beyoncé is still outside after being at Kris Jenner's controversial party. This time being spotted at the Boys Mind Tour thrice already, and also being at the Formula One racetrack, whatever thingy with Jay-Z and Lewis Hamilton and everything else, and also being spotted in that red outfit where I don't know where they were going. But does this mean that Betty Black, Act 3, whatever, is gonna be pushed out soon? Or maybe Cowboy Carter film? We don't know, but I think we should be watching out for something real soon because it's coming. It's coming.
Just know, JT coming, JT coming, JT coming.
Now let's get into some hot topics. So Kandi has officially filed for divorce from Todd Tucker. And I'm sorry, but the writing was on the wall with these two.
Yeah, why rewatching Housewives and they on the episode where they let the little lanterns and shit go. And y'all remember there Todd and Kandi's didn't lift up in the air?
I am very superstitious.
And now we know.
That's a bad sign to me.
That's a bad sign, baby girl. Because fast forward, these niggas getting a divorce.
Like, yes, they met on set of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And they met right after the episode of South Africa. When they came to South Africa, and this Sangoma prophesied that, she would meet someone who is real close to her. Like, close proximity, I guess.
You know that you're going to marry.
I am.
Yeah. The guy he live with him is going to marry him.
I don't live with anyone. The last guy I lived with, he's no longer living.
When you were engaged?
He died.
He died.
Yes.
He is with you. He's going with you everywhere. He's like your man.
And, they pushed, 11 years or 10 years, but we always knew, that there was some secret, like this man was secretly, envious of her success. Like, it was clear. as clear as daylight, as fans of Real Housewives of Atlanta and as a family, because Mama Joyce could not, hide, her disdain for Taj. She always was like, I don't want you marrying this man.
I do feel you're opportunist.
What do you think I'm getting out of it?
What you getting out of it? Cause let me tell you, ain't no river high enough, ain't no ocean deep enough, ain't no desert hot enough to keep me off your ass, baby.
Even her family, while she was picking out gowns, she was they were like to her that they don't want her getting married, especially, as someone who has been successful, like for many years, prior to being on the Real Housewives set. She has been, a singer with Escape, and she has written for, stars like Beyoncé, Destiny's Child Beyoncé, yes, and also TLC. So she had a bag up, Kandi is that girl, legs and hips and body, aye, that's my jam.
Legs and hips and body.
But what broke them up is that they were trying to do some threesomes and open relationship type of sitch, and I always say that those don't work. I'm sorry if that's what you want, but they don't work. Let's be honest, they don't work. Look at Tiana Taylor. It didn't work. It never works. Give me people who have made it work. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. It didn't work. Look at the drama it caused. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Let's be honest.
Curves 230 said threesomes never work. That's not true. I done had a threesome and it worked just fine. It worked great, actually.
Now we're going to talk about something strange that is happening in Hollywood. People are shrinking. Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Michelle Obama, Meghan Trainor, the list is long. People have been joking around saying that maybe, they are prepping the world for when, there's this whole scarcity and the economic world is shifting. And when people don't have food, we'll be seeing a whole lot of people who are skinny and everything else. So, we will be deeming it as normal because, we are seeing our stars as skinny and everything else. Or, maybe, the world is shifting into extreme thinness, for the beauty standards. We know the old beauty standards and people being thin and everything else. But when we look at the other scale, people are shaming people for being fat. They are body shaming people and being fat phobic. We have seen, there's 3 stars in particular that have been shamed recently. Beyoncé, Rihanna, and Nicki Minaj. People have been saying, they are big and everything else, and they have all sorts of things, which I will not be mentioning. But, so I don't know. With these whole conspiracy theories, because at the same time, I'm like, okay, it's kind of alarming that a lot of people are, going into extreme thinness. But at the same time, I'm like, but, there's other stars who are not, going into thinness, and people are still having problems with them. So, maybe the whole chat is that, people can't keep, people's bodies like out of their mouths. I will say though that what is happening with bodies in Hollywood is very weird, and let me know in the comments if you want me to do a deep dive on this, if we want to put our thinking caps on and see what really is the issue here, because this is bigger than the wicked cast. A lot of people are getting skinny now. Now, a quick fashion update. Polo South Africa has officially been acquired by Ralph Lauren. Yes, the 2 polos will officially merge into one. And that will stop jokes of our South African polo being, the wrong horse and everything else. And you might be wondering, wait, isn't polo a Ralph Lauren thing? Our South African polo was actually, held by the LA group. And now, I don't know if, they will change the logo into Ralph Lauren's logo, because they were kind of different. It's a win for Polo South Africa. People are questioning how much, will be charged. Like, will there be a price difference? We don't know. But now we can proudly say that, we will be wearing Ralph Lauren and not LA Group. And I'm dreaming right where I belong. Now, finally, under Hot Topics, Alexa Demie has spoken up about not getting leading roles as a Latina woman because casting directors want blonde hair, blue-eyed actresses. Not surprising. But anyways, this might confirm what fans have been saying with regards to her having the look, having the talent, and even having the hype around her to be the breakout star of Euphoria. But walks in certainly Sweeney. And we know she's been through so much controversy, and I don't even want to say lately because it's been throughout her career at this point, like with the whole American Eagle jeans ad, and now, and also with the whole soap thing where people are saying she is catering for men and she's very male-centered and she wants her career to look like Sabrina Carpenter, another blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman. And we all know that is far, from the case because it looks like her career, like as much as, people are defending her in the comments, her career kind of seems like it's tanking. Like it is tanking because, as much as you want to attract a certain demographic, at the same time you're alienating another certain demographic. And who knows, once that other demographic you're trying to cater to decides to turn on you, you'll have nothing. Let's move on.
This is what I mean when I say you don't think.
I'm thinking.
You don't think.
I'm thinking.
And let's talk about what you've been waiting for, music, because this is Lëbo Listens' first deep dive commentary, and it's not really deep dive, but there were a whole lot of topics on music that I wanted to talk about music, but also at the same time I wanted to go a little bit deep, but not like deep dive where it's a whole episode of music, but like a deep dive where it's like I don't have space, happy. Let's also talk about that because I don't have space. I can have space. Sponsoring ka di camera, paying, gifting, irang sipe, something. But anyways, Normani has been in hot water lately because people have been, fans don't like, the partnership she has with Shein. Shein. However way you pronounce it, my darling. It doesn't matter. But yes, people have, they don't like that. They don't like, that, because Shein has some unethical labor practices, but we know that a lot of stars have actually been in partnership with Shein. Khloe Kardashian, we've had Cardi B, we've had Glorilla. So it kind of seems like people are picking on Normani because she's easy pickings, I guess. But also it's kind of sad that she's actually going this route because now it seems like her career isn't moving. It's been stagnant. Let's be honest, it has been stagnant. The R&B girlies have been suffering. Look at Chloe Bailey, she is trying, she is gripping. Look at your Coco Jones, look at your every R&B girly. But Kelani, seems like it's a successful year for Kelani with her folded anthem, and it seems like that might make it seem like R&B might actually blow over. Okay, not blow over, blow up. Yes, blow up, and maybe once again be at the top of the charts. Hopefully that's what it means because R&B is not the place to be right now.
Mayday, mayday. Hello, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you over? We are sinking. We are sinking.
Hello? This is the German Coast Guard.
We are sinking. We're sinking.
What are you thinking about?
Now, I actually should have put this under a follow-up for Lëbo Listens. But anyway, Summer Walker, like I said, has released her Finally Over It album. And I really, really, really love the album art. It is such a cute album art. This album seems fun. But also, I need to talk about, the samples. She used some Beyoncé samples, and as a part of the Beehive, I love that, she is such a Beyoncé stan. Because what do you mean? You added yes. There was also like no, 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 and cater to you. Like, I heard them in the lyrics. But we also need to talk about her saying that, in R&B, not R&B, but music as a whole, because I think this is like a universal music thing, where labels don't want you to put out these long songs,
Like, that's my type of shit. So I got away with it as much as I could because I'd be fighting with my label about my 3, 4, 5 minute songs now that I have. But yeah, if it was up to me,
Give me, oh my God, I love a long, old, like, song. Not the stuff that you think you're going to hear on the radio. With like a live band.
You know, with music, we would get, your 10-minute, your whatever minute. Because look at Michael Jackson with his whole Thriller. Is it 14 minutes? I think it's 14 minutes, And your Taylor Swift with the All Too Well 10-minute song. And she actually said that it was actually longer than that, but she cut it herself because she was like, no one wants to listen to a 20-minute song. Which we wanted, but I digress. But yes, so, there's this whole label thing where they're just, like, I just feel like music nowadays. Music is, if I were to, get into I would talk, and I don't have space. But anyways, music has had this whole shift, and I blame TikTok. I blame this whole fast-paced thing where, consumers are legit consuming everything in like a fast motion thing where, they just want to hear a catchy tune or a catchy chorus, and they don't want to listen to the rest of the song. They just don't want to listen to what a person has to say as long as it's catchy and everything else.
People don't make albums anymore. They don't make albums. They just try to sell a bunch of little quick singles, and they burn out and they put out a new one, and they burn out and they put out a new one. People don't even listen to a body of work anymore.
Most people don't rap no more. Most people ain't even trying to spit. You understand what I'm saying? They don't try to spit. They getting by. Everybody is getting by being fraudulent. Everybody's getting by being half-assed. Everybody's getting by like not pushing their pen. Do you know how many times I think to myself, why did I just rewrite this verse? When everything on the radio is a bunch of whack verses.
And now labels are, not funding these girls. Not just girls, but they're not funding these artists. They don't even want to do album rollouts. They don't want to get them on these talk shows and everything else. They don't want to... There's nothing. And another topic that I was going to get into is Doja Cat. Because, she has been fighting with fans with regards to them saying that she is not performing on this Mavi tour and she is not having costume changes. But I will say that it's also maybe with regards to labels. I think people forget that it is not just the artist's decision. Artists a lot of the times don't even make the decisions unless they have creative freedom, of course. But it's actually not even just creative freedom. Like, there is just not enough. The voice of the artist sometimes is tuned out because labels just don't want to spend on artists, especially if they aren't making any profit for them. If they aren't selling like they should, like they want them to, then they won't see any need to invest in them, and get them these outfit changes and get them some real choreographers so that they could choreo the whole thing. Now, because even Tyler spoke about this, she spoke about not having the budget to do certain things, and she had to, do her own hair and everything at times.
Get ready with me for my show in Barbados. Listen, guys, I like my makeup. I have to style my own hair because the budget. So I have to I'm gonna try curl a few pieces and then see if I can spread it out or something.
There is no budget. People have been saying there is no budget. There is no money in music. Chloe Bailey said there is no budget. There's no music. There's no money in music is what I want to say. So it is not just an artist thing. So let's stop blaming these artists and, blame the labels.
We just be like, all right, where's the music? Let's go.
You can create music all day long, but it's like, especially if you're signed to a label, you can't control your release dates or when things get released. Also, musicians don't make a lot of money in the music industry. That's why you see a lot of people, they have brand deals and brand sponsorships. That's where the coin comes from in touring. But like music itself, you're actually losing money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy? Oh my God.
Oh, you want to know something else?
Yeah.
I learned this because I would produce Sis and I's records. Producers outside will get paid a huge lump sum, but because I would produce Sis and I's records, I couldn't get paid because I was the producer within the group.
Now, hold up. You're doing the same work but not getting
Yes.
a dime from it because it's your
Yes.
own music.
Yes.
Now, how does that?
And the good thing is that even though you do lose money in the music business,
Mhm.
you get a coin from everything that comes from the music you're making.
That's very
So
true.
it's like almost the music is almost like the ad. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's a business, and sometimes it's sad to think of it that way, but that's why tours go big and
Yeah.
everything. That's where you make your money and the big brand deals. So that's like a fact that not too many people know. They think it's like this huge high life thing. And yes, you might get a big lump sum of money in the beginning, or you might have a huge recording budget and you
Right.
think the label's paying for it, but at the end of the day, you're paying for it.
Man.
It's coming out of you.
Yeah.
So whatever you made from that album, you get that after whatever has been paid off. So it's like a loan.
Burna Boy. Burna Boy has been in hot water lately because he kicked out a couple who was sleeping in his concert. And he was like, I am sick, but I still came out to perform. And that was actually very rude and disrespectful to the couple who was sleeping. But this woman later came out. It's not even a couple because her husband had recently died. She said, in a statement that her husband had recently died. But, she wanted to, get in a mood of upliftment. She wanted, to uplift her mood, and go to a Burna Boy concert, just to, get that joy and spark and everything back. But now Burna Boy was taking his time. As he said, he was sick. So he was taking his time, backstage. So she just decided to, rest and close her eyes because she is kind of tired, and, it's normal, as much as we say artists, recognize artists as humans, also these artists need to recognize fans as humans, because let's get into how these artists sometimes want, so much energy and everything from the fans. Like, look at Steve Lacy and how he would shout at his fans and everything else if they didn't know the lyrics to his songs and everything else.
I feel it coming. Might be sunset, might leave my nose running. I just hope she don't want it. Hey, don't you give me a these. Alright, good night, you guys.
Can you say hi to my mom?
Can you be quiet? Can I see this again?
And now look at Burna Boy, who has been saying that he only wants real people in his concert to have money and everything else. He doesn't need his fans, which is giving Doja Cat. But anyways, so it's like, like fans come to these concerts. Yes, they want to see you. Yes, they want to see you perform and everything else, but they paid also, but they are also tired. They're also human. They're also, are feeling, the whole ups and downs of life. So you know what? Give the fans some grace.
Amala. Yes, baby. I love you so much. I love you. You are my entire life.
Pass the rose back, baby. Pass one.
Now, Lady Gaga is on tour and she teased a telephone party with Beyoncé. And that is so epic because, as I said, Act 3 might be coming sooner than we thought. And, I think that Lady Gaga will actually be on Act 3. So what if, I don't think it's... maybe it will be a telephone part 2, but not, telephone part 2 like how we think it would be, but maybe a different kind of song, which, is like a collaboration between the two. And we would love to see them perform together, because I don't think they've ever performed telephone together. I don't think so. But I think for Act 3, because she does bring them out, even if she brings them out for one day, one show. But yes, Beyonce does bring them out, so I would love to see her bring out Lady Gaga. And they've also, done
video for your song Telephone said to be continued at the end. Will it ever be continued?
Yes.
When?
I don't know.
Will this person be in it?
Maybe.
You being truthful?
I can't keep the picture of Beyonce. Okay.
Now, finally, Mariah the Scientist fans will not be happy about this because Young Thug has said that he has impregnated her. And I know that a lot of them have been saying that, you know, she is so talented to be tied to him. And we all know that that's a man. And she was not going to be leaving that man. She is not going to be leaving that man. Yeah. We've seen, like, from being dragged at the BT Awards to being on calls with him in jail. She is sticking by that man. Yep, that's her man. And yep, she loves him dearly, you know, like, she's not gonna listen to anyone.
This is your man.
Yes.
Look at the screen.
That's mine. And
that's what you're gonna settle for.
Stick beside.
And superstars, that's today's full culture and music breakdown. Let me know in the comments which topic shocked you the most. And also let me know in the comments if you would like more episodes like these that are hybrid. And when the news cycle is quiet. But, you guys are not subscribing.
You guys are still skipping my ads? You guys are still skipping my ads?
Guys are still not on. But you guys are not subscribing. You guys are not subscribing. You guys are not liking. And you guys are not commenting. But I appreciate that actually you guys watch. Like, I appreciate, you know, like, as much as you guys are not subscribing, I still appreciate that you guys tune in. And I love that. And I love y'all. And, but now I want to share that love with y'all every week. Like, I want to share that every week. But I'll see you guys next week. Or this Sunday. Actually, I'm going to see you guys this Sunday.